Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games but rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2.
I
see a shape. Is someone there again? Welcome to Tien's shop. My eyes are old, but I can see you want something from me. Can you change our ship's ID signature? You have a black transponder card, yes? Then I can do that for you. What ID signature would you want to use? One of the ID signatures recovered from B5D8. As you say, just one moment. It's done. Much luck to you. The Ebon Hawk will be intercepted by Goto's yacht. The party members will be able to board it to save Rain and the Mist. Who is the first person you want to send? Let's make it Visas. Visas. Aton. They are fleeing, running away. No, they are going to rescue their leader brother from Goto. That means they have a way to reach him. Follow the ship. All the space traffic around.
I was expecting someone taller. I hope you are not in too much pain to hear my words and understand them. I am Goto, one of the officials representing a percentage of non-sanctioned trading here in both the YouTube system and Republic space. And I had a question for you. Are you a Jedi?
Well, I do feel like I'm a Jedi, although I have no ties to the Jedi Order.
Indeed. That is unfortunate. Still, perhaps you have some value. I have gone to considerable expense and effort to bring you here. It is because I have a job for you.
Is that why you hired every bounty hunter and assassin in the galaxy?
Assassins? No. Some of the bounty hunters on Nar Shadda, however, have chosen to interpret my commands in a manner not of my choosing. You are no value to me, dead. If you were a Jedi, they could not kill you anyway. If they could, then you are useless to me. There is something important to me I need protected. The Republic. It is broken. What happened on Faragus has set in motion events that I can no longer control. Not to be melodramatic, but I fear it has broken the galaxy irrevocably. This has occupied much of my attention, and there seems to be no predictable way to resolve the situation.
You have chased me all over the galaxy to ask me to save it.
In one standard month, the Republic will collapse. Not due to war or secession, but because it lacks the infrastructure to support itself. It is unknown to all but a few, but the Sith won the Jedi Civil War. Even with their supposed victory, the war left the Republic on the brink of collapse. Rather than remain and help solidify the Republic, however, Revan chose to leave known space. A frustrating turn of events, as a rallying figurehead could have done much to restore order.
How can I help?
There is something moving in the galaxy that lies beyond the ability of my instruments to detect or predict. I believe it to be a legacy of the Sith, but I have been unable to determine the source. Whatever this presence is, it is staging strikes at key figures throughout the Republic, and through some unknown means, it is causing the destruction of worlds. Qatar, a Miraluka world in the Mid-Rim was one such place. I have reason to suspect there was a gathering of Jedi on that world when it was rendered lifeless. I cannot find any pattern in these attacks, and it is a source of frustration to me. There is some clue, however, that perhaps the Jedi are linked to these attacks, or that the targets are significant in some way I have yet to discover.
I'll do what I can. I don't want to see the Jedi wiped out.
You misunderstand me. I do not wish to stop the Sith any more than I wish to stop the Jedi. It is simply important to me that the infighting amongst these Jedi religious branches be resolved so the galaxy may be put back together. I do not care which one triumphs. I only want the universe to settle down for a while, catch its breath. All these constant crises are getting somewhat repetitive.
Why do you care about the Republic?
You could say I am something of a patriot. Although I was unable to serve during the troubles with the Mandalorians or against the aggressors known as Malak and Revan, I am able and willing to serve now. The problem is I can find no side to choose. Both are hidden from me as they seem to be hiding from each other. Irritating. It is like a Najaric board where neither player can see the other, nor see all the pieces. It is not a fair game, an equitable game.
Then maybe you should try Pazak.
Pazak bores me. I often suspect my opponent of cheating. I prefer predictable games, such as galactic economics.
I'll do what I can. That was my intention in the first place.
Excellent. It really is in your best interest, you know. There is no margin for error when I say that these Sith seek to murder you and all Jedi everywhere. They have been quite efficient. And when they dispose of you, there will be nothing left to stop them. And the galaxy will fall under their influence.
Then I have no problems helping if you set me free.
Ah, well, there is where we are at cross purposes. I cannot set you free. You have a tendency to cause dangerous repercussions wherever you go, and I would rather keep those to a minimum. The galaxy really is a fragile place right now. I am a businessman. The Republic needs stability to survive, prosper, and grow. Whether it is led by the Sith or supported by the Jedi is of no consequence to me.
The sound, is something wrong? Maybe you should pay attention to troubles on your own ship.
It is the proximity alarm. We are under attack. Somehow your allies have found you. Unexpected. You will remain here under guard. I must see to the defense of my ship.
Announcement. We seek to make Goto aware of our services, allowing us to facilitate communication and terminate hostilities in the galaxy. If that means blowing up planets, slaughtering entire species, or allying ourselves with the Sith, then that is the logical choice. Our predecessor would never understand our directives. He was slow, weak, and his vocabulary was prone to static.
Time to even the odds.
Ratio achieved.
I hear you.
That's mine.
Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
I hear you.
Accuracy ratio achieved.
My
Say
life.
the word.
Ratio achieved. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
Everyone down! I hear you.
A weakness is revealed.
More where that came from.
Optimal accuracy ratio.
A weakness is revealed.
Say the word.
This one will fall.
Systems failing, Master. Systems failing, Master.
I hear you.
Enter the current count to obtain full access. Console locked until the count is modified. Enter the current count. I have no idea what that's about, so I need to find some
Let me
info
take care
on
of
that.
this. Pure Bazak.
You're able to download a program called Shutdown.
My life is yours. You are no match.
I hear you.
It's mine.
More where that came from. More where that came from. More where that came from.
The code will allow unrestricted access to the containment system. Use the console to run the software.
I hear you.
Poison spray.
Unlock containment cell. Containment cell force fields are active. Containment cell force fields are inactive.
The honor is mine. I have succeeded.
More where that came from. Let me take care of this. Pure Bazak.
The honor is mine.
More where that came from. I hear you. Time to even the odds. Time to even the odds. More where that came from. More where that came from.
My life is yours.
Just say the word.
My life is yours.
I hear you. Let me take care of this. Pure Bazak. Let me take care of this. Pure Bazak. Let me take care of this. Pure Bazak.
My life is yours.
I hear you. Let me take care of this. Pure Bazak.
How may I serve?
I hear you.
The honor is mine.
I hear you.
The honor is mine.
Just say the word. Let me take care of this. Pure Bazak. Let me take care of this. Pure Bazak.
The honor is mine.
Just say the word.
The honor is mine.
Just say the word. Let me take care of this. Pure Bazak. Let me take care of this. Pure Bazak.
An audience chamber. I think that's where the Exile is. Which kind of makes me want to go there last.
The honor is mine.
Just say the word.
Reset
My
program.
life is yours. My life is yours.
More where that came from.
They have come farther than I calculated. They are very resourceful. But they shall go no farther. Deploy the guard droids. Raise the force fields. We will trap them within the ship. Activate the mines. Let us see.
So, I take it he's actually not in the audience chamber, which means I'll go back there.
I have succeeded.
Time to even the odds. Time to even the odds. More where that came from. 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 Let's settle this.
The behavior core is extremely sophisticated. There is an arsenal of sensory and combat logic upgrades, but they seem to be governed by a simple protocol. Switch the defense protocol to include you. Yeah, to be honest, I can scavenge it for components. Acquire power distribution access code.
I hear you.
How many? I serve.
I hear you.
The honor is mine.
These systems aren't controlling the ship. They are tracking signals on the planetary scale, maybe even galaxy-wide.
And your lives are mine. The only question is how much resources you want me to expend in subduing you.
Just say the word.
How may I serve?
Let's settle this.
A weakness is revealed. A weakness is revealed.
More where that came from. More where that came from.
How may I serve?
Just say the word.
How may I serve?
Just say the word. Let me take care of this. Damn thing's stuck.
The honor is mine.
So what is it that I'm even doing here? Like, I assumed I need to somehow disable the hold on the ship, but it cannot be done from this console. Although it might be because I switched them all to secondary.
What remains of the bounty hunters have found me. Now it is time to cue the detonation sequence.
The Zurg family will scour the galaxy for the Jedi, and then we'll bring him here to Goto. Didn't I encounter some of your dead family on Daxon? We have not heard from that branch for some time. Their silence is unfortunate. What could have happened to them? Yeah, what could have indeed? What a great mystery that is. Finally, we meet the Exile. You should tell your companion that she should strike to kill, not to wound.
Not again.
We meet again, handsome, strong, fearful human.
Ladies, what you need is a man who understands the two of you, and understands your needs.
You understand our desire? Because we desire to dance, to hunt, and to kill.
I was kind of hoping that mating with scruffy humans might have been the first on that list.
Next time, strike to kill, not to wound. You will not escape us this time.
I didn't run from you two Shaddas last time, and this time, I'm gonna make sure you stay down.
A weakness is right
Yeah, this time is really no contest.
I can't believe we just blew up Goto's yacht. That's gonna destabilize crime throughout this whole sector.
Yeah, well, you'll understand if I hold back the tears.
You don't understand. Crime in the YouTube system, it's like the economy. Plus the power vacuum. Even if Voga gets up and running again, the system is gonna be feeling the effects for years to come.
Yeah, well, at least we didn't find that Jedi Master with the weird name. Zez-Kai, whatever it is.
Zez-Kai? Well, that's not true. I already found him. Actually, he found me first. He hired me to watch out for you, keep Goto off your back until he could meet with you. We'll need to head back to Nar Shadda, to that safe house off the docks. I said I'd meet up with him there if we ran into any trouble. What do you want now?
If you thought to escape my notice so easily, you would be wrong. As a token of my goodwill, I present to you a gift, this droid. It will serve you well on your journey.
What? Wasn't your ship just destroyed?
A common misconception not supported by facts.
Why would I want this droid?
As I indicated, this unit will remain with you and guard you. It will also serve as an effective voice for my orders during your journey.
How do I know you won't try to kill me? Which your actions kinda did that already.
I cannot harm you. You are the key to saving the Republic. Pray that you do not prove yourself otherwise.
Goto has joined your party. He has special powers over droids and cannot set off mines. Well, maybe I should shut it down.
That would be unfortunate. I would merely lose a droid, while you would lose lose your entire ship and a sizable chunk of whatever planet you were on when you trimmed the failsafe detonator.
But I don't want your help.
It was not a request. Any attempt to interfere with my duties would be unfortunate. As much as I need you, you will find you will need me as well, and this droid will prove useful on your journey.
Well, Zez-Kai Ali is waiting for us. Enough talk.
So, you have returned from exile. Kavar thought you might, if only to wander your old battlegrounds. But I did not think you would come to Nar Shadda. Still, you were always a difficult one to read, both when you were tied to the Force, and even more when it was lost to you.
Why did Kavar think I would return from exile?
I do not know. It was a sense he had, and he had served in war, as you had. Perhaps he thought he understood you, or maybe he simply hoped he did. He felt you were the key to understanding the threat we face. The others were not so certain, but so many of them are gone now, as you no doubt know.
Why me?
He sensed some connection between you and many of the worlds touched by war. He thought by traveling to such places, he could achieve understanding.
I have questions I won't answer.
No doubt. I think the answers will provide us both with some measure of peace. I have kept secrets for far too long.
Where are all the Jedi?
They have scattered, but there is purpose in their movements. It is both to hunt and draw out our enemies. Somehow, we, are being targeted through the Force, and when Jedi gather, we are vulnerable. So we have chosen places where it is difficult to sense others through the Force, whether on planets dense with life, or touched by war. In such places, we may conceal ourselves, gather information, without presenting ourselves as targets. It was part of Kavar's plan.
Plan?
Yes, he felt if our enemy cannot detect us, then perhaps they would believe themselves victorious and show themselves. And we knew that the war would be lost if we continued to act as we had. I do not know where they wander now. There are few of us, though. Too few. And I have not heard from them in some time.
I encountered Vrook on Dantooine.
Vrook still lives? I had not felt his presence for some time.
I have other questions.
What I can tell you, I will.
What happened to them?
It is a long story, but there is no harm in you knowing. And someone should know. Only a handful of us remained after the Jedi Civil War. Barely 100 in number. Then, even that 100 began to vanish, in places where the Force seemed blind. The only pattern we determined is that when Jedi gathered, they were seen no more. At the last Jedi Conclave on the Miraluka world of Qatar, the entire planet was wiped out, an entire race destroyed, because the Jedi chose to gather there. It was only then that we realized we were facing something far more powerful than we knew how to fight.
Is that why you hid?
We could not allow the fact that when we gathered, we placed everything around us at risk. A Jedi's life is sacrifice, but we cannot allow our presence or actions to endanger others. And we cannot fight an enemy that will not reveal itself. But any Jedi, anyone who is strong in the Force, who attempted to track down such a threat, vanished without a trace.
Tell me about that threat.
I know little about it. I know more of the absence it leaves behind than its face. Whatever this threat was, it was targeting us and everything around us. Yet it was somehow weak enough that it was afraid to confront us openly. If it believed us defeated, then perhaps it would finally show itself. It was a faint hope, but it was the best we had. It was Kavar's plan. He was always the greatest tactician among us, and had seen war more than the rest of us.
I have other questions.
Very well.
I need to know why you cast me out of the Order.
We told you it was because you followed Revan to war, but you ask because you are not certain of that answer, nor were we. The day we cast you out, that is the moment I decided to leave the Order. because I do not believe we truly faced the reasons you were exiled. And if we do not examine such truths, then we are already lost. I think it was because we were afraid. It is a difficult thing to live one's life with the Force. To see a vision of what it would be like to be severed from it, it is more frightening than you know. Very well.
Why are you on Nar Shadda?
I had thought perhaps that here upon the Smuggler's Moon, I might find some evidence of the threat we faced. The bounties on Jedi and their disappearance. I did not believe the two were connected, but there was a chance. And the strong currents of life here on Nar Shadda make perceiving a Force user difficult. I could use it to cloak my movements and watch without being discovered. Very well.
Why have you cut me off from the Force?
Is that what you think? We did no such thing. But it is a technique that has been used as punishment in the past, yes. It is a rare sentence, and to my knowledge it has only been done once, at a moment where a Jedi discipline has failed. What caused your loss, I fear, was different. I am not certain I understand it. We did not understand it fully then, and only recently do I feel we may have become enlightened. The other masters may have more knowledge of this, but I do not. And I do not know if they even live. Does it matter? It seems your power has returned. Perhaps the loss was not a loss at all. Very well.
At the end of my trial, you and the other masters said something that had happened to me. What was it?
Ah, so the records of your trial were found. Good. Sometimes I think this galaxy would be a better place if there were less Jedi secrets. But I have no answer for you, as much as I would like to give one. We vowed never to speak of it. And although I would not keep promises to Jedi, I keep promises I make to others. And Kavar was a friend. If we were gathered as one, then the promise might be revoked. Until then, I can say nothing. Very well.
Do you know anything about Force bonds and how to end them?
Yes, such bonds are a connection that can be formed at moments of crisis, or in the slow understanding that grows between master and apprentice. It is most common between two beings who are sensitive to the Force. It allows the transmission of feelings, of influence. It was something you were gifted with, as I recall, before your fall. You formed such attachments easier than most, even to those who could feel the Force only faintly. Even Vrook could not ignore it, which is saying something.
Is there any way to remove such a bond?
I do not know. A bond between two living beings is not something easily broken. It is not a choice. It is like breaking a feeling, like turning away from the Force. To break a bond, your feelings would have to change, or one of you would have to die. But even then, the bond wouldn't go away. It would simply be empty. A wound. Very well. Yet,
I have developed such a bond with another, one that is lethal to us both.
That is most unusual and unnatural. I have never heard of a bond of such strength.
How would I end it?
There were a few within the Order who knew more than I did of such bonds, but their students were few, lost in the Mandalorian Wars. It was rumored that Revan studied such bonding deeply, both through the Jedi histories and with certain teachers, before he left the Order and went to war.
That's all I wish to know. What happens now?
Now I must take up the role I was ready to cast aside. This threat has finally revealed itself, and we Jedi will need to stand together. I did not speak fully of what I have felt. Staying on Nar Shadda, it is an exile of sorts, one that I have chosen. I, too, lost a Padawan on Malachor, not to the battle, but to the alternative, to the teachings that Revan brought from the unknown regions. And I was not the only Jedi Master to watch a student turn on them.
To fight in the Mandalorian Wars was no betrayal. Your students, your disciples, were taught to protect innocents even when you would not.
No, they were not to blame, but many of the Order did so. It was a difficult time, a time of strong emotion. Perhaps the Council, perhaps the Order itself, had grown arrogant in their teachings. It is easy to cast blame, but it is perhaps time the Order accepted responsibility for their teachings and their arrogance, and come to recognize that perhaps we are flawed. Not once did I hear one of the Council claim responsibility for Revan, for Exar Kun, for Ulic, for Malak, or for you. Yet, you were the only one who came back from the wars to face our judgment. And rather than attempting to understand why you did what you did, we punished you instead. Our one chance to see where we had gone wrong, and we cast it aside. And now, that decision has come back to us, and may carry with it our destruction. Perhaps there is something wrong in us, in our teachings, and though I tried, I could not cause that thought to leave me, so I left the Council. And I was not the only one. That is why many scattered, and why many in the Republic do not trust us, and why we do not trust ourselves. Make no mistake, I am no Jedi. This is the end, you see. After this, there will be nothing, and I think it will be for the best. Do you wish to do battle now? I have nothing more to say.
But Revan redeemed himself. Certainly that must give you some hope.
It provides no comfort at all, for reasons on which I still must keep secret. Suffice to say, redemption was not Revan's choice, and I have never believed those of the Council who attempt to console themselves otherwise for the crime they committed.
Okay, that's actually very cool that they at least sort of allude to the fact that what the Jedi did to Revan was massively fucked up, and it casts a large amount of doubt as to whether he even had free will in anything he did in KOTOR 1. Is there anything you can teach me?
But we have spoken enough, I think. And words, I think, dull us both. Let us speak through the Force, through sparring. This form you may have already seen much of during the Mandalorian Wars, but it is fitting to speak using elements of the past, I think. Ataru is the name given to the movements of this form. Though it is aggressive, it is focused, and its best use is in combat against a single opponent. This form is somewhat less useful in deflecting blaster shots. Use it when dealing with opponents in close combat, not against a battalion firing heavy blasters at you. Perhaps Exile has been good to you indeed. It has certainly not dulled your instincts, nor the speed at which you learn. I shall go to Dantooine, to the ruins of the Enclave. If you gather the others, I will meet you there. And thank you, Exile. You're returning. It is good that you are back among us.
Unnecessary observation. Targets acquired. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Recitation. And bring about the termination of hostilities. Ratio achieved. Accuracy ratio achieved.
Okay, that's pretty embarrassing. Pretty embarrassing indeed. Oh great, and I didn't...
Unnecessary. Accuracy ratio achieved. Systems failing, Master. Systems failing, Master.
You interrupting me for a reason?
Could you transport a family to Tilos?
What? Do I look like a passenger ship to you? Ah, alright. You help me, I help you.
The mother is named Kathrana, she's in the refugee quad.
Fine, I'll do for you. But don't ask of Fasa again. What else? You interrupting me for a reason?
You've returned, but I do not see Goto chained behind you. Can it be that you have not succeeded yet? I do not have Goto, but rest assured, he will trouble you no longer. I've heard as much. I wouldn't have thought you could have done so easily disposed of him. Rarely I believe that you have... That means we have a matter of business to discuss. My freighters have already begun work. I will open trade with the Telosians, however I believe they will be reluctant to listen to my offer, should it come from me. Here, this credit should cover the expenses, and a fee for services rendered. I do expect you to have what I asked. If you do not, you will find that I have little time, that you will have little time to enjoy those credits. Why do you defile my space? Okay. Is there anything else for me to do? Pazakten password. Okay. Talk to Lieutenant Gren on the Citadel station. But first, I would like to get to the Pazakten, if possible.
Unnecessary observation. Targets acquired. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Recitation. And bring about the termination of hostilities. Systems failing, Master. Systems failing, Master.
Cred to spare? Give bits Kalana can sell? What can you tell me about the area? Kalana wants seeing many things, now much less things. Not allowed in the Palapazak den, not allowed in the bar. Kalana see more, have much to tell. Then you must know the password to the Pazak den. Knows the password. Yes, I want it. The password is holdout. Why aren't you allowed in the bar? Because Kala see too much, eyes too good. If customers no see Kala, then they talk freely. There is money if they are too stealthy to be seen, especially in the cantina. Kala just small, hides easily. When people no see, people talk as if you were not there, say things that they would not see if you were there. Pazak then? Place where players play Pazak. I gathered as much. Why aren't you allowed in there? Because Kala sees too many cards. Kala's eyes sees all cards. They think I cheat. Alright, so I did get the password, but this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!